In today's video, we're going to watch these wild animals make an amazing recovery after being rescued. From dogs who have been abused to birds who have been shot at, all of these animals have one thing in common. They didn't think they were going to make it, but luckily they did. Number 12, meet Greenie. This little guy was found abandoned in a cardboard box. He was so tiny that he could fit in the palm of someone's hand. He also had no tail, and all 4 of his legs were paralyzed. But luckily, this little guy was found by some people who took him to a vet. The vet said that if he got to them soon enough, they may be able to save his life. And although he had to stay at the vet for a very long time, eventually, he was able to go to a loving home, where he now gets to live the rest of his life as a happy and healthy puppy. No, 11. Looking at this dog, you would never guess that not too long ago she was on the brink of death. This dog is named Gummy, and she had been abused by her previous owner so much that she was close to death when she was found. But after being rescued, she was taken to a place called Second Chance Dog Ranch, where her recovery began. She spent several months there receiving treatment, during which time they amputated her front leg. Now, she lives with a loving family and goes everywhere with them. She even has her own Instagram page, which shows off all the adventures she goes on. Number 10. Meet Dingo. This poor dog had been abused so much that he was left blind and with only 3 legs. Someone found him wandering the streets, and although he was scared at first, eventually, he warmed up to the people who took him in. It took some time, but eventually, he was able to find a forever home. And now, he spends his days playing with other dogs and going on walks with his new owner. Number 9. Have you ever seen a blue chicken? Well, if you haven't, then this must be the first time. This blue chicken almost died when she was just a chick, but luckily, she was saved and raised by some kind people. Her name is Cinnamon, and even though she's different from other chickens, she's still treated like one of the flock. She spends her days hanging out with her friends and eating food that her owners give her. 8. When this bird was just a baby, he was shot at by some bullies. Luckily, he survived, but his leg was badly damaged. A man who heard the gunshot went over to see what happened and found this little guy. The man then took him to a wildlife rescue, where he stayed for 5 months before being released back into the wild. As you can see, his leg was fitted with a special device that allows him to walk properly. But after several months, he was finally ready to go home. Number 7. This pony was found in some pretty bad shape. His ribs were showing because he hadn't eaten in days. And to top it off, he had a nasty wound on his leg. Luckily, a woman named Tina saw him and immediately called the police. They then took him to a vet where he was given the necessary treatment. After spending some time at the vet, he was able to go to a farm where he lives a happy life to this day. Number 6. If you've ever seen a white deer, then you know how rare it is. White deer are actually an albino subspecies of the more common species. And because they're so rare, sometimes they're hunted. This deer was shot in the neck by a hunter, but luckily he survived. A man who was walking his dog came across this deer and immediately called a wildlife expert. The wildlife expert was able to nurse him back to health, and once he was well enough, he was released back into the wild. Number 5. You've probably never seen a pig swim underwater before. This is a normal sight for this pig named Wilbur. Wilbur was found by a man named Charlie, who saw him struggling in the water. When Charlie first found him, the pig had been in the water for several hours, but thanks to Charlie, he was saved. Because of his ordeal, the pig had lost a lot of weight and was very skinny. But after being cared for by Charlie, he was able to put on a lot of weight and get back to his normal size. Number 4. Imagine being so thirsty that you're willing to drink salt water. That's exactly what this elephant did. This elephant was found by a man named Samuel, who saw him drinking salty ocean water. The man knew that the elephant was in danger and immediately went over to try and help him. Although the elephant was scared at first, eventually he calmed down and let the man get close enough to take pictures. After seeing these pictures, a wildlife expert was able to track down the elephant and move him to a safer location where he could drink fresh water. Number 3. Some people think that if they see a black cat cross their path, then they'll have bad luck. But this black cat is proof that black cats are good luck. This cat almost died when she was hit by a car, but luckily she was found by some kind people who took her to a vet. The cat had several injuries, including a broken leg. But after being nursed back to health, she was able to find a forever home. Now, she spends her days playing with her toys and going on walks with her owner. Number 2. If you thought dogs couldn't get any cuter, then just look at this puppy. This dog was found abandoned in a field, and although he was cute, he wasn't exactly in the best shape. He was severely malnourished, and because of this, he weighed only 1 pound. Luckily, a woman named Karen found him and immediately took him to a vet. The vet was able to nurse him back to health, and once he was well enough, he was adopted by a loving family. Now, he spends his days playing with his new siblings and going on walks with his owner. Number 1. One of the most amazing things about nature is the ability of animals to adapt to their environment. Take this chameleon, for example. This chameleon was found by a man named David, who saw him stuck in a tree. David knew that this chameleon was in danger and immediately went over to try and help him. The chameleon was scared at first, but eventually calmed down and allowed David to take him down from the tree. The chameleon was very skinny and dehydrated, but thanks to David, he was able to make a full recovery. Well, that's all we have for you today. But before you go, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. With that said, it's time to see some more amazing animal videos.